Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, then what I do is every day of 2024, I vow to check out a new band or artist. I check out 4 songs from across their discography, give you my initial thoughts on those songs, give you my ranking of the songs, and then of course, give you my overall thoughts on the artist based on what I just heard. Today's artist, as you can see right there, it's the Flat Stanleys. Now, going into this, had I ever heard of the Flat Stanleys? Absolutely not. Someone had suggested this to me, saying they were an emo band, and I was like, I'm the Emo Cat Dad. How do I not know about this? Well, it turns out it was that, modern baseball, the front bottom style emo that I've tried to get into with those 2 big bands, but it didn't really stick at the time, so I kind of just ignored the whole genre and kept listening to my sad boy pop punk. So I did some digging into the Flat Stanleys, and they have a decent following despite never actually releasing a full-length album. They released a handful of EPs on Spotify, and that seems to be it. Their Spotify bio says they went to the studio to record their debut full-length, but that never came out. So doing some more digging, I seen the singer in 2020, in the midst of COVID, posted something along the lines of he has severe mental illness issues, I think schizophrenia, I don't really remember at this point. But that for the time being, he was not going to be performing or writing any the Flat Stanleys music. And here we are in April 2024, and that has held true. So, despite not releasing a full length or any music at all for the last 6 years, we're going to dive into the Flat Stanleys. So the first EP on Spotify was self-titled The Flat Stanleys EP, and the track I checked out was Look, I Love You, but you really me over big time.
Wish I would fall asleep, because then you'd never see me again.
Okay, so this is definitely modern baseball adjacent. You hear that right off the bat. I did really enjoy the guitar tone of this track, as well as the vocals, the lead vocals, I should specify. I specify lead vocals because the background or backup vocals were of the shouty variety. Generally, I like shouty vocals, but these were just too raspy. It didn't fit well with the lead vocals. So what could have been a cool kind of like arm's lengthy tune did not come out like that. They followed up that EP with a Dancing to Dad Rock EP. So I listened to their most popular song, Me Versus Your Friend.
I won't pull my punches, I'll use my words to knock your teeth.
Okay, so the background vocals on this are mixed in much better. And I say mixed in as in the mix utilizes them much better, because they're still the same shouty, raspy vocals that I didn't really dig in the last track. So it's still there, but the lead vocals kind of overpower them a little bit on this one, which makes it more enjoyable for me personally. Musically, this song is much more fun and bouncy instrumentally. I really could not stop bobbing my head to it. And the lyrics on this track, I didn't even touch on lyrics in the last track, they were good, but this track makes the lyrics look like crap by comparison. I won't pull my punches, I'll use my words to knock your teeth out. Jeff's kiss. Alright, I was going to listen to another song from this album, but while perusing through the complete songs they have on Spotify, there was some random split EP with a guy named Tim Neal. I believe the EP was called Packing, and the Flat Stanleys had one track on that split called All My Friends Have Changed, and I Have Too.
The same when I get back to Baltimore, you're bleeding.
Okay, so this is a pretty simple acoustic track. I don't really know when this was released. It wouldn't surprise me if it was between the last 2 EPs, because it does still have some of that rawness of the first track, but the production seems much better, like it was recorded around the same time as Dancing to Dad Rock. The vocals and the light keys we get pair perfectly with that simple acoustic guitar strumming, and honestly, it's I wouldn't say it's a ballad, it's a step below mid-tempo, but still a banger. And last but not least, the Flat Stanleys released an EP in 2018 called Too Much and Not the Mood, which apparently is only a 2-track EP. I expect at least 4 tracks, but I listened to the title track regardless. Okay, so this track did nothing for me. This sounds way too raw. I'm not sure if this was maybe like an early demo they decided to push out in 2018 on Spotify or what. But yeah, this doesn't sound anything like production-wise the other three tracks did. And there was this cool crescendo near the end of the song, about a minute left in, and I couldn't get over how good it would have sounded had it simply not have sounded like it was recorded on the original iPhone in their jam space. Alright, so those are the 4 tracks I checked out. Let's go ahead and rank them. Starting at number 1, we're going Me Versus Your Friends. This was honestly like the perfect track for me. Super strong lyrically. The vocals were better than I expected them to, even though I still had minor issues with it. But the music was so fun and bouncy. It's exactly what I look for in most of my music. At number 2, we're putting All My Friends Have Changed and I Have Too. Not bad for a simple acoustic track. They could have just gotten away with this being a simple acoustic track with the lyrics to it, and honestly, it could have still ended up in the same spot, but the light keys put it over the top. And this is honestly one of the best straight up acoustic tracks I've heard in a while. At 3, Look I Really Loved You, ... all that other stuff. I don't even remember the full title. Again, like Me Versus Your Friends, this track had a lot going for it, but unfortunately those shouty backup vocals just took it down a notch. Luckily the Flat Stanleys were able to incorporate it a little better on later releases that had them, but that's honestly what held this track back. And honestly, it would have ended up in 4th if not for Too Much and Not in the Mood. Just way too raw for me. Like I said, it sounded like they were jamming and someone hit record on their original iPhone and they just went with that and threw it up on Spotify quickly. I don't understand. Maybe there's a reason for it. If you know, please let me know in the comments, because I'm baffled as to why the band would release this like that. Especially since I could hear all the elements of a great song. Had the production have even been up to par, this definitely wouldn't have been last. Alright, so what are my overall thoughts on the Flat Stanleys as a band? I really dug a lot of this. I obviously had some minor issues here and there, but overall I enjoyed the Flat Stanleys' work, and I hope that the singer is able to get over his issues or find the right medication that works for him so he can go on releasing music, because honestly, I think if we ever get some more music from them that's polished, I'll definitely be happy to check it out. Alright guys, that's it for me on this episode of Emo Cat Dad Listens. I appreciate you making it to the very end. Please, please, please do me a favor. Leave me some suggestions in the comments below. Still got 250-ish days of this, so I need your help with bands and artist suggestions. I did Modern Baseball last week. I did the Flat Stanleys today. I'm coming around to the side of emo, so maybe give me some suggestions in that genre. Maybe you want me to check out the Front Bottoms, or I don't know, give me some other ones, because the only other one I can think of is the band that starts with MC that shall not be named, and I will not be checking out. Make sure you're at least giving me those suggestions, and you're also cutting my wrists and hitting subscribe. Emo Cat Dad signing off for now, but until next time, I want to hear you sad.